Shalom Akim. I'm gonna give all praises and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to elders and apostles of GMS who teach and rule well, and salutation to all the Akim in all four corners of earth who's pushing this truth and sincerity. Shalom Akim. I want to get into this madness they just put down in New York in Times Squares, and it just adds on to the point that this is a place of punishment, man. When reading the comments on this statue, they call her a big heifer. They said, "What in the world is this they didn't put up?" You niggers are going crazy. You protesting over it. They didn't have a singing dance down there for it. Introducing the world to it. This is a joke. This is a joke. This is a laughing joke right here. Me and the brother was speaking about this earlier, and we was like, man, do you think that they would dare put a white woman up there looking fat like that? This is considered fat. But here in America, this is your average American size right here. And they also get mad because they call it body shaming now. When you point out the obvious. You go back in time, like you go back to the 80s coming into the 90s is when this stuff started coming in. 2000s, it was too late. But you go back to the 80s and you look at, you can go to Three's Company. Look at some of those shows from back in the day. Look at the 90s. We had Baywatch, with those nice looking lifeguard women on there, Pamela Anderson and stuff like that. Think about some of these shows that you had on TV. Your little Melissa Milanos and stuff like that on these Who's the Bar shows and things like that. Just pointing out the typical body structure of the woman, And now we have 2020, and this is where we're at right now. Truck driver body bitches. If you try to tell them to get that body weight off of them or something, they say you're body shaming them and things like of that nature. But this is a joke, man, here in America, and this is what they promote as the black woman, Micah 2:10, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. And these ladies out here nowadays, they don't want to do the hard work anymore. They don't want to work out. When you go to the gym, when I go to the gym, it's nothing but white women in there. The black woman, she comes in there and she'll take a picture, a selfie or two, and call it a day. I've even seen one that I went to high school with. I pulled up to the gym. She was already parked there, flicking through her phone. So I jump out my car, go do my workout, come back out. She's still in the same spot, flicking through her phone. So now she'll say that she went to the gym but just wasn't motivated to go in. These are the things that they come up with. This place is comfort them to be fat bodies, man. And they're cool with that. Most of them don't even have kids and have bodies like this. Some of them have one or two kids and just let their body just go. Just let it go. Just forget it. But this place is sick like that, man. They say they gotta watch their programs. They got these different shows where they binge watch TV, So it's no wonder that their bodies are looking like this. And then they have excuses of the foods they gotta eat, man. Oh man, they'll eat a whole tub of ice cream. And you'd be like, well, you just aren't supposed to have a scoop or two of ice cream. No, they eat the whole tub, with no shame. But yeah, these our women, right now here in Babylon, they're in control of everything, man. They run this place. They run the household. They run the job forces. You can't go to a job place in America right now and you don't have a nigga woman as your supervisor. I got two of them as my supervisors, and there's some real bitches, man. And when you're a man, they sense that, and that you're not gonna bow down. You're not laughing at their jokes. They notice that, man. And they get upset. They get bitter about that, man. But it is what it is, man. We're men. This is Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long will thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For the Lord hath created a new thing on the earth. A woman shall compass a man. And that's, like I say, here in Babylon, they push that, man. The woman is the head of everything, especially the nigger woman I'm speaking about, and you Latino women, They get the top of the line jobs, and it's by design. They get money, and it's by design. If a man is homeless, then he's just homeless. He's jacked up. If a woman is homeless, they have all sorts of services for her. And if she has kids, they'll really open the door for her. I always revert back to growing up. Here in Chicagoland area, they used to cap off your food stamps. Well, these states around us, whether it be Wisconsin, some of those super liberal states. Indiana is liberal too, but they started cutting back. So that, those Republicans down there, they was like, man, there's too many niggas crossing that border coming from Chicago. So they started cutting back. So the Minnesota started accepting them, and then to cut it all off to trump everybody, California was giving away like $1,500 per pup, a month. So these women were from Chicagoland area, having damn near double digits of kids, would shoot up to California, and cash out. And I remember that stuff back in the 80s and stuff growing up. That was a woman's hustle back then, man. Yeah, these women are over us, man. They get the best of everything, man. The government gives them everything, man. And it's all by design, man, at the end of the day, man. A woman is not supposed to be over a man. But our women, they promote that to it. They promote the woman, the head of the household. They promote the woman, the head of the job. Everything, man. Everything, man. And like I said, this is part of the curses that's on our people, man. When you look at Esau and his woman is in line for the most part, man. Well, now that we're at the end, she's coming out of line, but for the most part throughout history, she's been in line. You go back to the shows, man. Honeymooners, man. My man wasn't playing. He'll tell Allison in her face, I'll send you to the moon. Lord, today's society, you can't do that. Tell your wife you're gonna send her to the moon. Let your wife back talk to you and tell you you're gonna send her to the moon. See what happens to you. This is where am I? That's Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands. Whoso pleases Yahweh shall escape from her, but the sinner shall be taken by her. So, you come out of this wicked world and these wicked ways, man. So this woman, the woman knows how that spell upon you. And you Israelites and you Latino men, you love to, you love to cater to your woman, so to speak, But once again, these are the things that society has put for you to do, So yeah, you fall into those snares. You fall into that lovely smell that she has, those upgraded hips, the breasts that they done built for her, because these women nowadays are nothing but, Build-A-Bear bitches, man. You can build the bitch how you want to nowadays. A couple $100 and she could get everything done on her. This is how sick the society is, man. And then people have come to worship and come to acceptance of this place, man. They come to be acceptance of this place. It's full of idol worship, man. At the end of the day, this is nothing but idol worship, man. You'll have this could possibly this goofy statue will probably win some awards, or the person who made it, or whoever. They'll have all sorts of red carpet events for this idiot, and all this is demeaning to our people, man. But they look at it as something good, man. Like I said, when they were unveiled the statue, they had girls down there dancing and singing. They had put on a whole little show for this shit, man. This is nothing more and making fun of our people, but at the same time, they're worshiping. This is idol worship, man. Leviticus 26:1. You shall make you no idols, nor a graven image. Neither rear you up a standing image. Neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land to bow down unto it. For I am the Lord your power, man. So America is full of these images and idols that they want you to worship, man. And a few years ago, I'd say a solid 5 years ago, beginning of the year, this is probably right before everything shuts down with the pandemic. This is about 18 or 19. I remember watching the Jason, I want to say it was Jason A, and they showed a bunch of these nigga women witches doing a little seance in New York to bring in the new year. And the whole thing was they were opening portals, for the demons to come in this place, man. that's all they were doing, man. Was open the portals for more demons to come in this place, man. These witches, man. You know, these modern day witches. You know, they're all around us. These black women, they talk about their healing. They got tarot card readings and all that stuff. Those are witches, man. You know, stay far away from them, man. It's Micah 5:12. And I will cut off witchcraft out of thy hand, and thou shalt have no more smoothsayers. You know, people love to hear that smoothsayer stuff. They love that smooth stuff, man. You know, and that witchcraft gives our people that sense of false hope, man. And any way it goes, they going off, man. You know, our Lord is a jealous power, man. You know, He doesn't play about that, man. It's Micah 5:12, 5:13. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee. And thou shalt no more worship the work of thy hands, man. You know, all these goddamn statues once again, man. You know, and all these images they put up, these idol images, man. America is full of idol worship, man. So they gave you this thing to worship, you know, and you know, and our people are gonna do it, man. You know, we're gonna see how long this lasts, because you know Esau might pull that, yank it down, you know, and then how the black people, you know, the Negroes get upset in New York and protest. Black Lives Matter. You know how they do it. They get real emotional, you know. But it is what it is, man. Yeah, this is just calling out what it is, man. This is pure idol worship at its finest. But what more can we expect here in Babylon in these last days? You know, they're gonna pump up the nigga woman. You know, pump up these little rugrats they carry and squirt out. You know, and we're gonna through the scriptures rebuke them. That's our job, man. With that being said, I was just edifying. Shalom, Akim.